Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner.
Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. President Trump arrested in Atlanta. Breaking, Trump turns himself in again as calls for Fulton County DA impeachment grow. And there it is, folks. The mugshot that the progressives have been looking for, well, about 8 years. And there it is. And there, I'm sure they're dancing in the street and celebrating. Be careful what you wish for, because you may well get it. Oh, unbelievable. And there it is, close up. 8:30. The former president spoke to reporters and insisted that he and his co-defendants were every single right to challenge an election that we think is dishonest. You should be able to challenge an election, he told the press. I thought the election was a rigged election, a stolen election, and I should have every right to do that. People that are younger don't remember the year 2000. Al Gore, George W. Bush, especially in Florida. Remember the hanging chads? Remember that? And ended up going to the Supreme Court, which finally told them to stop recounting, and Florida was won for Bush, thus the election. And they all screamed and hollered. Even Alan Dershowitz, who was a lawyer for Trump during one of the fake impeachments, he said, listen, we were down in Florida trying to change votes and get the Electoral College changed in Florida. The same thing they're accusing Trump of. Nobody ever put us in jail. Wouldn't House be emblematic of a moral and societal implosion in the United States of America at the hands of the radical leftists running the establishment? Former president and front-running presidential candidate Donald J. Trump turned himself in and had been arraigned at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta. It shows a picture here of him getting off the plane. It shows Trump here getting off the plane. You know, do you act happy? Do you act like up yours? You guys are a joke. Do you act solemn? You know, it's hard to say, or you're just pissed off. And I think, frankly, he's just pissed off. If you want to know the truth of it. I put out a video earlier that he should not post bond, call their bluff, and sit in jail with all the Secret Service agents. According to WSB Radio, Trump was booked at around 7:35 p.m. on Thursday. The former president is facing 13 charges, including violation of Georgia's RICO Act and several conspiracy charges. He has denied any wrongdoing, saying the charges are politically motivated ahead of the 2024 election, which they are. He was released from jail and his motorcade headed back to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. I guess it was a $200,000 bond. He posted 10% of that in cash. There's a picture of the motorcade. They basically shut Atlanta down so he could get in. Trump put on Truth Social, nobody has ever fought for election integrity like Donald J. Trump. For doing so, will probably be arrested tomorrow afternoon in Georgia. God bless the United States of America. As previously negotiated, Trump turned himself in, pled not guilty to the charges, 13 in all, and posted $20,000 of a $200,000 bond, 10%. Millions of leftists, completely unaware of how fascist their party has become, cried out in ecstasy when at long last the great orange nemesis posed for the mugshot they've been dreaming about since he humiliated them in November of 2016. In a fairer time, drastic measures such as politicized hate impeachments, raiding former presidents' private residences, and abusing government powers and maliciously prosecute one's front-running political opponents were frowned upon. Sadly, today's far-left Democrats are so militant and radical that no norm is too venerable for them to wipe their backsides with. I agree with all of it. After a massive 2.5-year hunt for crimes, what's the old Russian or Soviet saying? Give me the man and I'll show you the crime. We'll pick a guy we want to prosecute first, and then we'll look for a crime. Instead of looking for the crime and the person that committed the crime, which most justice in Western countries work. After Amass's 2.5-year hunt for crimes, repugnant Fulton County District Attorney, repugnant is right, Fannie Willis repaid sugar daddy George Soros by charging Trump with, among other things, violation of Georgia's RICO Act. It's just unbelievable. I'm going to read this because this is about how much sense these charges make. Very simply, a conspiracy is an agreement to violate a criminal statute. It takes two to tango. So a conspiracy must minimally involve a pair of people. Beyond that, though, it can involve 3, 19, 100 people, any number. Regardless of how many people are said to be implicated, however, there's always one requirement. There must be a meeting of the minds about the crime that is the objective of the conspiracy. That's what's so strange about D.A. Willis's indictment. She alleges that the 19 people named in her indictment are guilty of a conspiracy because they agreed to try to keep Donald Trump in power as president. Not through force, specifically to change the outcome of the election in favor of Trump. Maybe they shared such an aim. Maybe their 19 minds meant regarding that objective, but in and of itself, trying to reverse the result of an election is not a crime, i.e. Alan Dershowitz and all the Al Gore people and Democrats in Florida in 2000. I remember it specifically because I used to be a Democrat back then. To be honest with you, I wasn't that upset, even though Bush turned out to be a turd. I wasn't that upset. It's just amazing to me. Trying to reverse the results of an election is not a crime. You may have noticed that Al Gore nor Stacey Abrams were ever led away in handcuffs. Unbelievable. Conspiracy to unlawfully change the outcome of an election in favor of Trump. That is, the lawful objection of changing the election outcome somehow becomes unlawful because she invokes the apparent word unlawful. But there is no crime of unlawfully trying to change an election outcome, not in Georgia law or any American law. It's incredible to me. It's incredible. Because Willis is such an obvious political hack who was utterly abusing the American legal system, she is now under scrutiny from Georgia's elected representatives. Unlike Washington, D.C., in Manhattan and New York, I live in upstate New York, not New York City. They're very, very, very deep blue. But Georgia is not. So that's where she's going to have a problem. Is now under scrutiny from Georgia's elected representatives. State Senator Cotton Moore kicked off the impeachment process August 17th by sending a written request to Governor Brian Kemp for a special session to review Willis. State Representative Charlie Byrd is signing on to Moore's letter on Tuesday. The impeachment inquiry will begin once 3/5 of both Georgia state chambers add their signatures, and I hope they get enough signatures. She would be prohibited from ever holding a position of honor, trust, or profit within the state and would lose her pension, according to a political science professor. Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, Republican of Ohio, also seeks to discover what federal funds Willis spent in this investigation, as well as the extent in which she communicated with Special Counsel Jack Smith. They're going to throw her under the bus, I can guarantee you. This is a developing story. We'll have more as things break. They're going to throw, as things start getting tough for her, things start getting tough for Smith, what's his name, Bragg in New York, they're going to throw them under the bus. Now, they'll end up with cushy jobs somewhere or a really nice media spot. But this, folks, is very, very, very bad. Not because I'm a Trump supporter. Because of the fact that this is harmful, very harmful to our country. Am I calling for Republicans to start indicting Democrats? Maybe that's what it'll take. I don't want Trump to be alone. I think all the Republican candidates for president, knowing they can never get the nomination, Trump will win the nomination sitting in jail. Let's just face the reality. Should drop out immediately, endorse Donald Trump, and use all their resources to help Trump get elected and also help defend himself, help raise money for his defense. I don't care if he's a multi-billionaire. He shouldn't have to spend tens of millions of dollars defending themselves from this total BS. I still call them to do that even after last night's interesting so-called debate. This is ridiculous, folks. Absolutely ridiculous. Like I said earlier, Democrats are making a huge mistake. The progressive Democrats are making a huge error. I've said it's saying before, it's either Aztec or Incan. When the gods want to punish us, they answer our prayers. Well, progressives, your prayers have been answered. Until next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.